Sir, this is Ryan Morgan and Sean Spillane, and this is our Deliverable 2-1. The first part is the use case diagram. Our use case diagram basically shows our client's interaction with the terrorism dashboard, and also it shows the macros as kind of not another client, but it's also interaction with the terrorism dashboard. And as you can see, the macros sort the data, graph the data, export the data, visualize the data, and present the data. And the client basically, after inputting the data that it wants to sort by, can analyze the data in the new filtered data section. The next is the requirements hierarchy. So the main requirement for the system is that this system shall receive input from the user and rapidly present output from the global terrorism database. The three main functions of the terrorism dashboard is to look up the data, to filter through the data, and then to present the filtered data. So to look up the data, the system shall have the ability to receive input and look up data in the global terrorism database tables based upon the input, filter through the data. This system shall be able to rapidly filter through the data and find all the data in which the user desires, and presenting the data, this system shall have the ability to display the desired data in which is user-friendly and easily understood. And then these are then broken down. The lookup data is broken down to the location input, time and date input, attack type input, the nationality/group name of terrorist. The filter through the data is broken down to sort data and export data, and the present the data is we'll graph the data and also display it in a table.
So this is our internal block definition diagram. Internally, it takes the terrorism database and brings that to our user interface. From there, it splits up into two different programs. The terrorism database will go into our PowerPoint, and our PowerPoint will return a presentation to the user interface. Next, the terrorism database will also enter Excel and R, and those programs are going to return geospatial maps to user interface. Thus, externally, the output will be both our geospatial maps and a presentation.
Sir, this is our main terrorism database interface, and basically you have three options of how you want your data filtered. You can pick it being filtered by the country in the time frame, the COCOM in the time frame, and the lat long in the distance. So the first thing we will do is we'll choose to filter the data by the lat long and distance. So we'll put in a latitude, a longitude, and we'll hit update distance. And this will fill in the column in our global terrorism database sheet, all the different distances from this point of latitude and longitude. Takes a little bit of time because there's so much data. There we go. So as you can see, there's the newly calculated distance, and then all we need to do, as you can see, it'll put the filter data in this sheet. As you can see, it's blank now. You just need to check this box and it will run. Actually, we need to put it in a distance first, so we'll put in 5,000, and then we'll click this. It'll run it'll filter the data, and it'll input this based off of the distance and it being under 5,000 kilometers or whatever units from that latitude and longitude. The next one, we can pick either country or COCOM. In time frame, we'll pick country, so we'll pick Mexico. And as you can see, that this is a VLOOKUP function, and it changes the COCOM here. And then we'll change this to 1973, say April 1st, and then we'll just leave that. And as you can see, this will put the newly filtered data into this sheet. And you just need to click this, and I go to my data, and this is all the terrorist attacks that occurred in Mexico during that time frame. And basically, if you want to clear the data from the data sheets, all you need to do is press this clear data button. It'll clear it, and then we could search up or filter all the data that's in the UCOM, COCOM, and in this time frame, we'll hit that. Go to my data, and there's everything from UCOM, and we did that because we put the COCOM here in the global terrorism database and did a VLOOKUP from our COCOMs list here.
Alright, so now we're going to go over our VBA functions on how we were able to find the distance and sort our data. The first is we create a distance function taking the user's input in longitude and the longitude and latitude of the incident, and we take our distance function right here and convert longitude and latitude to radians, and it returns a distance. That distance is then called with this sub function. What this does is it takes all the rows in column 17 and will input the return value of the distance function. When we filter our data, we can filter our data based off of the distance. So what we do is we go to our criteria page and we use this if statement right here for our filter, and we'll use the record advanced macro function to filter our data based off distance. Similarly, we're able to do it for time and date. Filters by time and date using our criteria right here, in which we assign a value to the time and date from the main interface right here. The next filter is by country, COCOM, and it does the same thing. It will filter by the COCOM as Ryan had previously shown. And then finally, we're able to call a function which we're able to clear the data in sheets 3 and 4, which was your data and the my data sheets. So this concludes our brief of our terrorism database.